The Dallas Mavericks' incredible journey to the NBA Finals. Seriously, it's been a wild ride, and they're now just one step away from potentially winning the championship. But here's the thing that's been bugging me. Despite this miraculous run, it feels like the Mavericks have been treated as an afterthought by a lot of the media, especially during the playoffs. Instead of celebrating their achievements, some commentators have been downplaying what they've done, and it's been really frustrating to watch. That's why I'm making this video. Recently, Keyshawn Johnson made some comments on Undisputed that really caught my attention. Before we dive into the exciting details about the NBA, we noticed something surprising. Only 0.1% of our viewers have subscribed to our channel. If you enjoy this content and want to see more, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Your support motivates us to keep creating content you'll love. Now let's get into it. He was pretty dismissive about the Mavericks' run to the finals, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. So today, we're going to break down his points and address some of the broader media narratives that have been circulating. Stick around, because we're going to dive deep into why the Mavericks' journey deserves a lot more respect and recognition. Today, let's dive into one of the most talked about series of the NBA playoffs.
They got a little, they're good. There's no question about it, but they did get a break too, though.
The Mavericks.
Yes, absolutely. Think about their road to the final. They played the Clippers minus Kawhi.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you that.
They played OKC with one guy. One guy.
But Oklahoma City did win the West.
That's
Over
fine.
82 games,
That's
they won
fine.
the West.
But OKC is facing the same sort of issues, although they're younger than Minnesota.
Yeah.
It's Ant-Man. That's it. Chat, come on.
But Oklahoma City goes down to one bad idea, one bad foul by Shea Gilgeous, or we're going to Game 7.
But we also can look at Minnesota's situation and say every single game was close except last night.
Okay.
But all I'm saying is, these teams really didn't. OKC didn't have a two-headed monster.
Yeah.
And neither did.
Although I'm going to say this again, Kyrie stood up right after they closed him out in Game 6 and said that was the toughest series I've ever played.
That may be true, but OKC couldn't score even It's Ant-Man. That's it. Chat. Come on.
The Mavericks versus the Clippers. But we're not just going to replay the highlights. We're going to dissect some of the juicy controversies surrounding it. So picture this. Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers' star player, sidelined with an injury. Now, if you've been keeping up with sports news, you might have heard whispers, or maybe even full-blown shouts, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the Clippers were actually better off without Kawhi. Crazy, right? Well, hold on to your seats because we're about to unpack this wild theory. Sure, on the surface it might seem logical. The Clippers managed to hold their own without Kawhi, and some pundits even argued that the team's offense flowed smoother without him. But let's hit the pause button on that narrative for a moment. Let's not forget, the Clippers weren't exactly struggling with Kawhi on the court. They had a solid offense all season long, even with injuries popping up left and right like surprise defenders. So saying they're better off without Kawhi might be a bit of a stretch. Plus, let's give credit where credit's due. Kawhi Leonard isn't just any player. He's a two-time NBA Finals MVP. His absence, no matter how you slice it, is a significant loss for any team. But here's the real kicker. Even with Kawhi sidelined, the Clippers were still a force to be reckoned with. Their offensive firepower didn't suddenly disappear into thin air. They had other stars stepping up, keeping defenses on their toes. So, while it's fun to entertain the idea of the Clippers being a secret super team without Kawhi, let's not get too carried away. Basketball is a team sport after all, and every player brings something unique to the table. And hey, whether you're a die-hard Mavericks fan or just love a good underdog story, you can't deny the drama and excitement that unfolded during that series. It's what makes playoff basketball so electrifying. The unexpected twists and turns, the heated debates, and the jaw-dropping moments that leave us all on the edge of our seats. You know, when that matchup was announced, the buzz was electric. The media, they were hyping up the Thunder like crazy. And why wouldn't they? They were the #1 seed, boasting an MVP runner-up, and they had this killer combo of offense and defense that just seemed unbeatable on paper. But then, boom, Mavericks come out swinging and snatch the victory. And suddenly it's like the script got flipped. All that hype around the Thunder, gone in a flash. Now, instead of celebrating the Mavericks win, the narrative starts shifting. People are saying, oh, the Thunder were too young or they lacked experience. But come on, let's give credit where it's due. The Thunder had some serious firepower. That MVP runner-up, he was tearing up the court. And their offense and defense? Top-notch, my friend. They were a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, maybe the Thunder fell short this time. But let's not forget the hype they brought to the table. And who knows, maybe next time, they'll come back even stronger. Before the series even began, there was this buzz in the air, a collective nod of approval from the media, all pointing towards the Timberwolves as the unstoppable force destined to crush the Mavericks. It was like they were the favorite kid in school. Everyone just assumed they'd come out on top. But then, the Mavericks stepped onto the court, and oh boy, did they have something to say about those assumptions. It was like watching a masterful magician reveal the tricks behind the illusions. The Mavericks didn't just beat the Timberwolves, they dismantled them piece by piece. Remember how everyone was talking about the Timberwolves' defense? It was like the Great Wall of China, impenetrable and awe-inspiring. But then, along came the Mavericks with their bag of tricks, and suddenly that wall didn't seem so grand anymore. It was like watching David take down Goliath with a slingshot and a stone. And just like that, the narrative shifted faster than a Hollywood plot twist. One moment, everyone was singing the praises of the Timberwolves, and the next, they were scratching their heads, wondering how it all went so wrong. It was a quick, almost dizzying change of heart from the media, but hey, that's basketball for you. So what's the lesson here? Never underestimate the underdog, especially when they've got the heart and determination of the Mavericks. It's a reminder that in the world of sports, anything can happen, and the only thing you can truly count on is the unpredictability of the game. All right, let's talk about something that's been bugging me. The way the media tends to gloss over the Mavericks' victories. It's like they've got this script ready to roll out whenever the Mavericks win. So picture this, Mavericks beat a team with an impressive record, let's say 350-plus win teams. But instead of celebrating this feat, the media starts poking holes in the opponent's strengths. Oh, they were having an off day, they say. Or their star player was nursing a hangnail. It's like they're trying to make the Mavericks' victories seem less impressive. But here's the thing, those wins weren't just luck or flukes. Beating 350-plus win teams is no small feat. It's like climbing 3 mountains and then being told, oh, those were just hills. And let's not forget about the caliber of teams the Mavericks have taken down. We're talking about squads with top offenses and defenses. These weren't pushover teams. They were legitimate contenders. Yet, the media wants to downplay the Mavericks' achievements as if they were playing against a group of amateurs at the local YMCA. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty, net ratings. Yeah, it sounds technical, but bear with me. Net ratings give us a glimpse into how well a team performs overall. And guess what? The Mavericks stack up pretty darn well in this department. Despite what the doubters may say, net ratings tell us that the Mavericks weren't just lucky, they were downright dominant. It's like they were playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. So, the next time you hear someone downplaying the Mavericks' victories, take it with a grain of salt. Because behind every win is a story of hard work, determination, and a team that refuses to back down, even in the face of biased media coverage. Let's talk about the online pushback against labeling the Mavericks' run as great. Now, we get it. Not everyone is quick to hand out compliments, especially in the wild world of sports fandom. Some might say, oh, you're overrating it, or it was good, but not great. But here's the thing, folks. Let's take a step back and really appreciate what the Mavericks have achieved. Now, on to those counter-arguments that try to downplay the Mavericks' achievements. One common one is pointing to injuries, like Kawhi Leonard being out during the Clippers series or calling the Thunder young. Sure, injuries happen and youth can be a factor, but let's not forget that every team faces challenges. It's how you overcome them that truly matters. And speaking of overcoming challenges, let's talk about the potential historical significance of the Mavericks' run if they beat the Celtics. Now, imagine this, the Mavericks, against all odds, take down the Celtics and clinch the championship. That's not just a win, folks. That's history in the making. We're talking about a team that battled through tough matchups, faced doubters at every turn, and emerged victorious. So, the next time someone tries to rain on the Mavericks parade, remember this. Greatness isn't just about the wins and losses. It's about the journey, the grit, and the heart that goes into every game. And if the Mavericks pull off the ultimate victory, well, that's a story worth celebrating for years to come. So, let's recap what we've covered today. We started by marveling at the Dallas Mavericks' incredible journey to the finals. only to find ourselves scratching our heads at the lackluster coverage they've received along the way. But fear not, because we dove into the heart of the matter, confronting Keyshawn Johnson's dismissive remarks and unraveling the broader media narrative that seems to downplay the Mavericks' achievements at every turn. From the Clippers to the Thunder and the Timberwolves, we've dissected each series, exposing the inconsistencies and biases that have tainted the Mavericks' remarkable run. Despite beating formidable opponents and overcoming significant hurdles, their triumphs are often met with skepticism and belittlement. But here's where you come in. We want to hear from you. Do you agree with our analysis? Have you noticed similar trends in media coverage? Or perhaps you have a different perspective altogether? Whatever it may be, your opinions matter, and we encourage you to share them in the comments below. And hey, if you've enjoyed this deep dive into basketball analysis and want more, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. By doing so, you'll stay updated on all things basketball and join a community of passionate fans like yourself. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep dreaming, keep ballin', and keep believin'.